All right, so if you haven't booked your summer getaway, what do you need to know? You are in luck. We have experts here to answer all the questions, or at least some of them. Tim Hentschel is the co-founder and CEO of HotelPlanner. Travel is in Tim's blood. He is a third-generation hotelier. And also Gary Leff, author of viewfromthewing.com. Gary named one of the world's top travel specialists by Condé Nast. All right, so we have it booked. What do we need to know? I'm going to start with you, Gary. Obviously, everyone wants a deal, especially now. We may actually need a deal with these rising prices.
Well, look, there aren't a lot of deals because fuel prices are higher, and so airlines are cutting back on the number of flights in some cases. Flights that were not making a lot of money before don't make sense to them now with higher costs. And when there are fewer seats with the same demand, prices go up. But if you can fly to places that other people aren't, or at times that other people aren't, there are still deals to be found.
All right, what are you seeing as far as deals, Tim? And as Gary points out, yeah, pick some places that maybe are a bit obscure. That's kind of part of the fun, too.
Yeah, staycations are the new norm this summer. Think Paris, Texas instead of Paris, France. That way you can also save a little bit of money by driving. We expect that oil prices in the industry will come down this summer as demand peaks and the war comes to an end. The White House will definitely try to get energy costs down. So by driving instead of flying, by buying your ticket now, you're locking in on a high airline price. But by driving, you can fill up your tank right before you go and take advantage of lower oil prices that are sure to be coming in the next few weeks. In addition to that, we say, look for hotels, 3-star, all suite, think Embassy Suites or a Hyatt Place where you can get large rooms with 2 queen beds plus a sofa sleeper. So you can fit the whole family in one room, or you can share a room with several of your friends. Split the cost, that's a lot cheaper. Look for downtown business district hotels over the weekend. Look for airport hotels, those are always cheaper. So follow all those tips and you can enjoy huge summer savings.
Those are good tips. Gary, since you are one of the world's top travel specialists, everyone has sort of a different vision of what's good for them, what's good for their family. It's not really a one-size-fits-all. So break it down for us. If you're sort of a couple traveler, if you're a family traveler, and just maybe a solo traveler, what you would suggest and kind of if you're driving or if you're flying, but things to be looking out for, because obviously different budgets are out there for folks.
Well, it's actually the case that once you fly sometimes long distances, you can get better deals where you're going than you would closer to home. So maybe the airline ticket is more, but if you're going on a longer trip, consider some place where the destination is inexpensive, whether it's South America, Central America, or even Asia. Sure, you're spending a lot of money and time to get there, but if you're going to be there for 2 weeks, it costs so much less on the ground. There are a lot of people who, frankly, are continuing to buy at these high prices. We really do have an economy where people are locked into what they want and they're going to spend, and that's why the prices are remaining high. At the point where the economy just isn't able to support that anymore, we will see lower prices. And so one thing to consider is that if the trip doesn't work for you financially right now, just wait. Sure, Bob Jordan said they'd like to keep higher fares longer, but that's really just a function of the broader economy and what demand looks like. And if lower costs and higher demand, airlines will add flights and add seats. And when they do that, we'll have a rebalancing of supply and demand, and price will make more sense.
Well, we all know spring break was no fun. So I love the advice because I think people are due for some good times this summer. When it comes to pricing in the hotel business, you have to wonder, for New York, apparently there's this new contract and it's going to really make hotels get even more expensive. The largest wage increase in the council's 100-year history. Some saying it's now, the Hotel and Gaming Trades Council with a new contract could pass it on potentially to the consumer. So, Tim, that one's for you in our final moment here. But also, would you just keep rooms empty? I mean, if you don't book, we're tight on time, but give us that thought. You'd rather forego it? How does that work?
Well, we just invested into a real estate investment trust, hotel ownership in several 4- and 5-star hotels, which we don't think will be as affected by the new wage increase for the hotel workers union in New York. Those prices already have enough margin in them to support the wage increase. But yes, the 2 and 3-star limited service sector in New York is going to be affected by that. Hotel rates in Manhattan are already sky high. So maybe some of those hotels won't be able to absorb those costs. Maybe some of those hotels will turn into condos. That'll be even less inventory in the New York market, which will only drive rates even higher. That driving of rates higher
Right.
should mean that the few 3-stars that stay in the market can afford to pay their housekeepers over
All right.
$100,000 a year.
Well, we're starting to think, and we've got some good tips here, and I really appreciate it, Tim and Gary. Maybe it's South America, but maybe it's your backyard, Paris, Texas. All good options. You've given us quite a few to think over this Friday. Thanks, gentlemen.